We have examples of containers for back of the house collection and front of the house collection. Front of the house collection can be contaminated. It's trying to explain to the public about what should go in and then watch to make sure they're doing it correctly is sort of an ongoing challenge. So we're up for the challenge, but I recognize that we're still trying to work on, what type of signage would be best, what type of kind of hole in the top of the compartment. Can the collection be monitored? Can the contamination be removed so it doesn't create copycat users or putting the wrong material in? So there's some ideas to help with that. On the website, as John mentioned, there's case studies, both written and video. We do blogs highlighting businesses that are doing great things. One of those is Johnny's Luncheonette, and they started a program in advance of the reduction in food waste to the half a ton a week threshold. They are collecting 3 48-gallon containers of food scraps per week. They put some signage out on their patio planters using the compost that's created from their food scraps. So kind of going full circle with that. It's a great message. And they definitely noticed reduced squirrels in their dumpster area. They are also starting a program where folks have to ask if they want straws or condiments or utensils. And we have a resource on the website for talking about those things, looking at what is a restaurant providing to their customers for takeout materials. Is it styrofoam? Is it something that can be recycled? What are the considerations for what they're going to be able to do with that material? Let's say it's compostable materials. Can they have access to commercial composting where they're going? So there's a lot of information here too. These slides are going to be available to everyone, so you'll have all the links, but please feel free to ask anything. So just going through the single-use options, if there's going to be compostable products used and the hauler accepts them, they will probably require that they're BPI certified, and there is a list of those materials. The recyclable packaging kind of looks like compostable in some cases, so that can be confusing, so the signage needs to be really clear, or perhaps it's one or the other. Want to bring up the Recycle Smart Guide? I'm not sure if everybody's seen this. Yes? One, couple. Highly recommend you take a look at this. This is an initiative funded by Mass DEP, going to all of the recycling facilities in the state and saying, can you please come up with a list of commonly acceptable materials across the state? So they did. And so here it is. Bottles, jars, jugs, and tubs made of metal, plastic, and glass. And paper, cardboard, magazines, and like the cereal box type thing. So it may seem like there's fewer items that are recycled than there used to be. Let's say like dirty salad containers or some things that we got in kind of bad habits of recycling. So if you stick to these items, you know that they're going to be accepted by the hauler, accepted by the end site, accepted by their end site, and recycled into new products. What they also identified is that there's problems. So if there's plastic bags in there or recycling in plastic bags, that tangles the equipment. And if it's in the plastic bags, especially a black bag, they're going to assume it's trash, and they're not going to open that. Hazardous items, yucky things, and tanglers are also problems. And there's a searchable recyclopedia on there, so if you have a question, you can plug in, what do I do with my X, my red Solo cup? And it's going to tell you, unfortunately, you put it in the trash. What about my clear Dunkin' Donuts cup? Empty, no lid, no ice, no fruit, can be recycled. And it's also populated with hazardous materials. So batteries, mercury, paints, other products. So you can use, there's thousands of items on there. It's a really wonderful resource. So we base our signage for recycling on the Recycle Smart information. The contamination, like we just talked about, again, we can customize signs for if there's questions at a business about what do I do with my black plastic, or the utensils, they're plastic. Can they be recycled? No, they can't. What about the straws? No. Another infographic that we create, oh, that's my, okay, sorry, thank you, is it's okay to put recycling, it's okay to line a container that you've got your recycling in so it doesn't have drip and ick in the barrel. And then, but if it's a different color, let's say it's clear and trash is black or gray, then you can take those two items, you know which ones, they're separate because they're color coded, they can go in a cart, they can be transported out to the loading dock area, then the recycling can be dumped into the recycling container and the trash in the trash. If bags are the same color, they can frequently be confused. The hauler contracting and guidance is another great tool on there. Let's say we're talking about seasonal fluctuations. There's hints there about talking with the haulers. We've also got technical site, compost site technical assistance through the RecyclingWorks program. So if there's farms or compost sites that are already doing leaf and yard waste, we can provide assistance to help incorporate food scraps into that. As I mentioned, we're doing the reusable takeout container program, best management practices. If you're interested in being part of that, just let me know. We're developing guidance in close collaboration with the Department of Public Health, the Department of Environmental Protection, and dozens of stakeholders. The Mass Oyster Shell Project in the Cape, I'm not sure if that would be of interest to anyone here, but I just wanted to include a link to that. And we're going to be doing some site visits on the Cape. So kind of working in different areas of the Cape to do some kind of concentrated visits, and to be happy to talk to anyone who, there's two, but any food establishments that wanted to set up something right now, happy to talk about it. Any questions?
All right, any questions? Round of applause.
Do you have any anecdotal or data about what has happened since the law about commercial composting at the supermarket level versus food donation? Because I represent FoodLink, so that has a big impact on food donation. Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if you have any experience there.
Thank you. We have a video on FoodLink on the website. It's awesome. I'm not sure. So when we do visits at grocery stores, we absolutely go through the hierarchy of reducing, let's say they've got those, can they make banana bread? Can they take the peppers and cut off the part that's bruised and put it in a...
Or can they donate it?
Well, yes, absolutely. But I'm just, kind of going through the hierarchy of what can they do on site, and then they can donate. And we definitely use the Harvard Food Law and Policy Clinic fact sheets for reinforcing the Bill Emerson Good Samaritan Act, that they are protected from liability, because that is a concern. And once they see that they are protected, it's like, oh, yeah, we can do that. We know how to handle food. We know how to, kind of thinking of restaurants, they know how to do catering or do off-site work and just in general prepare food safely, so they can take that next step. Like 1 second later, that food, or 1 second earlier, that food could have been sold. So it's still perfectly safe for donation. So we absolutely go through those steps. I don't know about an anecdote, John.
Two thoughts about that. One related question we get sometimes is, how come you didn't And the reason why, one, I'm not sure we have the authority, but before we even got to that question, we decided we were concerned with doing that because we didn't want food donation or rescue to become the channel for a business dealing with their leftover food, which may or may not be appropriate for donation. So we're a little concerned that that would, while well-intentioned, that would inadvertently put undue pressure on food rescue organizations, and they wind up with a bunch of food that was not safe and good to serve. So we're concerned about that. The other thing that we've heard anecdotally in some cases, and Heather, I don't know if you could comment like on how common this is maybe, but I've definitely heard examples of where a business starts with separating a composting program, like they're doing nothing. And they start with separating out food scraps for composting. And then there's the dynamic that Heather talked about when she was just starting, when they realized we have a lot more food waste than we thought we did, because now we see it. And then sometimes that leads to either a reduction effort or a donation effort, which we're always happy to support. We want to be careful that it's done well, it's done safely.
Absolutely. When we're talking about the EPA scale, which used to be the triangle, the hierarchy, we would talk about frequently people would call us and say, I want to start a composting program. Be like, great, let's do that. And then once they looked at what they were separating and putting in that compost container, like, oh, okay, we could donate this. This is perfectly good, or use it for staff meals or something. So they definitely have more creative thoughts once they're seeing what they're throwing out. And I want to add one more thing that I forgot. People are paying more attention to the item in their hand of doing in a food separation program, they're also paying more attention to the recycling that's in their hand. So it can definitely increase recycling diversion, which can also take that material out of the trash, and there's some cost adjustments there too.
Any other questions? All right, Heather, thank you. She will also be here
Thank you.
for the networking.